Great, our APIM was deployed successfully in the subscription that I created and the resource group that I created. And now I'm clicking on the APIM that was deployed successfully. This is the overview page. We have some information here, like what developer tier we are using, what pricing tier we are using, developer number of units that are there, what kind of identity providers we are using. At the moment, username and password is known, it hasn't been integrated with any VNet, and some other general information here. So this is the most important part is the left side, the panel on the left side. APIM is composed of three main components: developer portal, API gateway, and management plane. Developer portal is possibly the easiest one to distinguish. It's as a dedicated menu on the left, which is this one. But what is a developer portal? Or maybe the developer portal is a platform that allows developers to interact with their APIs or the APIs that have been shared with them. So it looks like this. It's a web page. You can sign up or explore API. It has some button at the default. It comes with some buttons like home, APIs, products, sign in, and sign up. APIs are packaged as product, so you can have different API belong to the same product or multiple products. The relation between APIs and products are many to many, and we can customize this page. For example, after clicking on the product, we can see what products are available to us, along with some description that the developer of that product has provided. We can customize it. You can read more about that in here, and we can go through it later. Going to the portal, this is the part. We haven't published it yet, so it's not accessible. So if I click on the developer portal URL, which is this one, which we're gonna receive an error message like this. This hasn't been published yet, so it's not accessible. We're gonna do it later. So the next, but getting back to the slides, API gateway and management plane are kind of scattered in the left menu in different places. It may not be easy to distinguish them, so we can go through each of them and know more about this one. So speaking of developer portal, as I mentioned, it's an interactive web page that allows you to interact with your API, read the API production, API documentation, call the API via interactive console, create an account, and subscribe to get API keys. API keys are the keys that sometimes we call it subscription key, are the key that's shared with the developer, and it's a kind of authentication as well. So whoever who has that key, they can access the API. We can see analytics, we can download API definition and manage API keys. API gateway, well, when I'm talking about API gateway, these pictures come to my mind. So it's a person, so assume it as just imagine it as an operator who sits between the caller and receiver. Because they are between the caller and receiver, they are actually decoupling client and the back end, caller and receiver, accept API calls and route them to the back end, exactly like the old picture. Verify API's keys and credential, enforce quotas and rate limits, transfer requests and responses, cache responses, do the authentication and secure socket layer termination, do the logging as well for monitoring purpose. So yeah, because this operator are sitting in the middle, they can collect logs. Even if they, for example, their backend or receiver says I'm not available, they can convey that message to the caller without actually connecting them to the backend or the receiver. So this is a general idea about API gateway. So if we go to the portal, we're gonna see the gateway URL as this one. So if we get the URL, open CMD and do NS lookup and remove the beginning HTTPS protocol, we're going to receive an interesting response. Because we don't have any domain, it shows it uses Azure Backend and Azure Domain, so that's the reason that we have Azure API and Azure.com here. So our family name, the name that we put them, is nothing except an alias. This is the one, right? But the actual name in the Azure Backbone or Azure Cloud is this one. It's deployed to Australia East. As stated here as well, APIM demo and test, Australia is 01 regional Azure API.net. And I'm gonna take you through this one. Give me a moment. But this one, it says this part, specifically this part says we have a traffic management in gateway, which manages the traffic, and it can route the traffic or direct traffic to the closest gateway. Speaking of this regional and gateway, the gateway part of APIM can be deployed to multiple regions. So it has, give me a moment, yes, we can see that one as well. So when we are in the location section, so location section is here under deployment and infrastructure, we can increase the number of locations. Because we are using the developer tier, we only have one. If we want more, we need to upgrade it to a premium tier as stated here. So API gateway can be deployed to different regions, and based on different availability zone, we can have different availability zones. So what are availability zones? Those are availability zones are separated group of data center within a region. They are usually about 100 kilometers away, which they have independent power, infrastructure, so it brings a kind of resilience to the picture. So for example, if we have this region, we may have different availability zone, which is a data center or a combination of data centers. So for example, if this one goes down, this availability zone 1 goes down, we have two other availability zone in the same region. It's the level of redundancy that we bring into the picture. Microsoft brings to the picture. So getting back, deploy to multiple Azure region. So if we go to this part, which is about multiple Azure regions, scroll down, we can see here, the one that we saw is nothing except a DNS entry. Of course, there is a gateway API deployed, but the URL is a DNS entry that says this has been deployed to a specific region. Only API gateway component of the API management instance is replicated to multiple regions. And what's the benefit of that one? If a region goes down, we can switch to the other region, or if we receive a call receive a call within a region, we can direct it to the same region, to the gateway which is deployed to the same region, or to the closest one. This can be done through API and policies. For example, like this. It says if it's coming from the West US, and if the deployment is coming from the West US, then route the traffic to the closest backend, which is in the US. If it's come from East Asia, route it to the East Asia. If it comes from any other location, route it to the next location. So through the API and policies or API policies, we can route the traffic to different backbone regions. Going back to the documentation, to the PowerPoints. So management plane is the third or the search section of APIM. It provision and configure APIM service settings. It define or import API schemas, package APIs into product. So product just a package of APIs. So it's a kind of hierarchical level. We're gonna go through these ones later. So if we have different different APIs, and we want all of them to have the same policy or similar configuration, we can configure them as one product. A product can have multiple APIs, and an API can belong to multiple products. So it is many-to-many relation. Set up policies, get insights from analytics, and manage users. Going back here, these are the API. So we have APIs. This is the Echo API that I was talking about. It's the default one with always come. This is the product that we have. 2 products at the moment. This is a section for subscription. We have 3 subscription. I'm gonna cover these later, and some other information about the back end or named values. Yeah, I think that's good for so far so good. We covered what we wanted to cover. In the next session, in the next section we go to actually these definitions and see and actually examine them more thoroughly. Like go to the API, create an API, assign it to a specific product, and enforce subscription. Or maybe go to the developer portal. Where's the developer portal? Yeah, here. Create a developer portal and start using that one. Yeah, please let me know your question, and thanks for watching.